Speedway is vastly different from most other forms of motorbikes. It's a single-cylinder 500cc engine and it runs on methanol rather than petrol. Very basic motorcycles really, just built to be light and to go extremely fast. If you fall off the bike and come away from it, that pulls out, it cuts your engine off. Saves fingers getting chopped off and things like that in the chain. It's got only one gear, it's direct drive, and it's got no brakes. I started riding motorbikes when I was 3. Dad bought my first little tiny bike when I was 3, and I've been racing. I raced juniors since I was about 8. I'm riding ever since really. So 21 years.
He didn't really start winning until he was about 9 or 10 years old, and we were all for giving it up. And Marge said to me, you know, you got to take more pressure off him. I'm putting too much pressure on him, and I think I was at the time. But I expected him winning every week, and it just wasn't happening. Then I stopped pressurising him, and within a month he started winning.
When I was a little kid, he taught me everything. Up until sort of when I started riding for Middlesbrough and, you know, talked to other riders and I sort of started taking in information from all around.
All I ever wanted to do when I was at school was ride Speedway and be World Champion, and it's been my lifelong ambition.
That's a picture of the World Final, and he's obviously clinching that trophy there, so he doesn't want to let it go. You can't relate what it's like. I mean, I just wish everybody could have a winning son to realise how nice it is.
After I won the World Championship last year, they gave me the job of being captain of England, and to me it's one of the greatest honours that any sportsman could ever get, to be captain of your national side. Gives me a lot of pride. Top riders probably ride 3 or 4 matches every week for the whole of the season. Tonight I'm riding at Bradford, which is my home team, against Coventry, which is one of our old arch rivals. Our matches are always good between us. Speed riding is very different from any other sport. You know, your footballers, they get a wage every week for whole year round. I would say 95% of speed riders get paid on performance only. You know, if you win your races and win all your races, you're gonna earn a fair amount of money, and if you lose, don't score any points, you're not gonna earn anything.
What motivates these lads now is the money. It's still much better than working for a living. You know, I mean, I used to earn more than my old man did for one meeting at them days that he'd probably earned all week. You know, for probably 50 or 60 hours a week. So I thought, this is all right. So I liked it, because I like the, if you like, I like the rewards of having easier money. I mean, sit on your bike for 5 minutes a night was certainly better than working in a textile mill for 50 hours. You know, that's the way I looked at it. The sport of speedway racing came into England from Australia in 1928, and it just blossomed, and it's had its boom years, it's had its poor times. We've certainly, I think, over the last 10 years lost more tracks than we've actually reopened. You know, I think we're down to a hardcore of supporters, and so we've got to try and make inroads now into attracting people back into speedway. You know, it's still a reasonable night out for £5. On a league match, it's over 18 heats, 4 laps in a race, and at any given time you can only run obviously a maximum of 4 riders in a race, and there's always 2 from the home team and always 2 from the visiting team.
You know, it's very important to try and get from the start and get to the first corner first. If you don't do this, you can't pass people. They're always very aggressive, sometimes quite violent, to get the advantage. You know, I don't race Speedway for the money. It's the winning more than anything that gives me the buzz. And also the adrenaline and the speed of the thing. You know, there's nothing like sort of doing 70 miles an hour sideways, 2 inches from the fence. So, Major League adrenaline. It's great.
Just about to start there. You ain't got stuffed out wide, covered in shit, couldn't see. I know you can't pass your partner, because he's riding out inside, outside, every corner. You know, when they all came out, he just lost 3 bikes stopped you dead, yeah. Can't do a thing then. And that's only one ride. Yeah. 20 time, isn't there?
So wet and stick in the first one. It was so hard because there's so much mud flying and you can't see, and that way. It was really cloudy and goggles.
That shale is lifted off the track at over 120 miles an hour, and believe me, on the big tracks, particularly Bradford, that shale does sting. It doesn't sting, it bloody well hurts. And I've certainly seen riders have their hands cut through the gloves, and the shale cuts. I've seen it even cut the face, you know, black and blue underneath there. So it's very important to get out in front and give everybody else the rubbish off your back wheel.
Here, this one says, please play a record and say a happy birthday for next Saturday, the 25th, to Jean Brown and to Daniel Brunson. It comes from all your friends, says, give us a wave, we're just in front of you. Well, there you go. From all your friends here at Bradford Speedway, many happy returns for next Saturday, the 25th. Come on, Gabby. There's a change in heat number 7. Tactical substitute in yellow and black.
And he's been riding really well with Sean tonight. They've got some good team riding in, which is good to see. You get a lot of guys who just go out there for themselves, but they've made it quite interesting actually. Good to watch for a change. Watching them, but you get so used to it. You watch them so often, 2 or 3 times a week, that, you know, it's just another job to them, and the same for us watching them, you know. Maybe if I was the first time supporter coming, I think I would be a bit nervous watching the lads go around. I mean, the bikes have got no brakes, so it's not as if they can slow down if they come into a dodgy bit of the track. That was Monday. And his gear was that dirty, I had to put it straight in the machine, you know, that was like early hours. So it was really wet.
How did you protect me elbow? Back protection there, which protects me back. Got a pad there to stop the stones.
So, Gaz, we're on tonight then, mate. What was the problem in the last race?
It was you. You were willing me to lose from the pits, weren't you? Pad there, protect the stone. A sweaty box. I got knee pads. Pretty much all around, really. I like to be safe. No.
What it is like the stones that hit you, right? Like they go right through your levers, and like the impact on them like about 120 mile an hour, because you're doing about 60. They're coming off their back wheels at 60, and you're doing 60 into them. Just like, I did that when I was a kid. I did it once racing, and like other times I was like a kid, just like running like a push bike accident. Oh man, once racing.
What's your broken then?
My nose, my foot, ankle, and I fractured my neck when I was 16. That was at Bellevue. That was at Manchester. It's closed down now. I opened this steel fence with my neck. So I'm pretty lucky. I balance pretty well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I think like bounce and like, I'm alright. Get by.
You get them.
Got any scars there?
Just that one.
What's that?
It's broken wrist. The plate put in there. The screws. Bolted me up. But I'm alright now.
Well, when you're watching him eating, you're wanting him to do well, so you're shouting him to do well, but you're also nervous and you're saying slow down because you're frightened he's going to come off, you know, it's a mixture of feelings. But, you know, it's what he wants to do. And we believe in fate, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, if something's going to happen to you, it'll happen. We've got to. We've had to over the years. Well, I don't go now with Gary to away meetings. But, you know, Brian's team manager of Newcastle, so I go everywhere with him.
This is a picture of the 92 Newcastle Diamonds, which I am now team manager. And I've been there for 3 years and I've enjoyed every minute of it, really. It's memories go by, and, you know, the teams that we had, and a few of them are still there and a few of them are gone.
You seem sad, Brian. Is there,
I am.
There's sadness here for you.
We've got Wayne Garrity, who lost his life. And I may have been the last person to speak to him. I can't do any more.
We had one really bad crash at Middlesbrough, and we had a traumatic drive in the ambulance to the hospital with his eye hanging half down his cheekbone. It was just awful because he'd broken his cheekbone, and your cheekbone holds your eye socket in, and his eye was just sort of, and he was saying, "Oh, I've lost my eye," and
I can't remember anything.
Yeah. Oh, he was only 16 at the time.
I also trapped some nerves in my face, and this part of my face is numb still. It's like 6 years ago. The doctor said feeling might come back in a day or a week, or it might never come back. And at the moment it hasn't come back. I've got no feeling there, but you get used to things like that.
There's people live with it from day to day, and unfortunately we lose some lads, and a lot of other lads get injured, and there's wheelchair problems, and you know, it's really the black side of Speedway that nobody wants, but it can, you know, can stay in the face. It's there to be seen, and there are various times when we have critical injuries, which is unfortunate.
Do you worry for Gary when he's racing?
No, it's something I've never done really. He's always been very safe and you know, very constructive in his racing, and I really say to him sometimes that you're not hard enough, but I suppose when you're on the bike you take the risks that your body will let you take, and that's it, isn't it? This is where they do the bikes and all the preparation, and obviously if it's done right in here, it should all happen on the track.
You're not allowed in here anymore then?
I'm not, unfortunately. I used to come in and help when he first started off, but they ban me now. I interfere too much, and they take the mickey out of my ideas, so I don't get involved.
Still living in the 1970s, you see, with battery and coil and 2-volt jowers. Technology's moved on a bit.
When I was living at his parents', I think I was there for about a year and a half, his mum used to do his leathers for him. And then when I moved in, I thought, well, really, I should give her a hand and maybe I should start doing them because she has enough to do anyway. So I started washing his leathers and the boots and everything, and coming in at God knows what time of the morning and starting like washing leathers about 1, 2 in the morning and everything. Got to a stage where the leathers used to get left till the last minute, and I'd quickly rush them and give them a quick wipe over and wash all the gear. And then suddenly it come to a standstill, and I was sort of, you know, Gary, wash your leathers, I haven't really got time. And he turned around one day and he said, oh, you don't even wash me leathers anymore. So then I reeled off about everything else I have to do in the house, and how he doesn't wash my work clothes for me, and I don't have like a nice set of clothes to wear on Monday morning and for the rest of the week. And I think he sort of took the hint then.
There's a lot of speed riders who, you know, you look at them and they might have had sort of 4 different mechanics in the last 4 seasons. Scott's never ever let me down.
We first met in Aussie, didn't we?
Yeah.
In 1987, that was good. 4 months. 4 months of laughing.
You're quite wild, you know, aren't you? We do. We have been known to in the past. Get wild. I think as you get older, you get a bit mellower. Don't get so wild now. Definitely had some wild nights and days.
When Scott first came along, Gary said, oh, well, at least I've got Scott, I won't have to spend so much time in the workshop. And that never came off, it never ended like that. I mean, Gary's in there nearly every day with Scott. I mean, he gets abroad quite a lot and overseas and anywhere, really. And now I'm sat here like, oh God, I wonder what he's doing tonight, and I'm stuck at home. But like he says, he's usually busy most of the time. But he does get his fun times as well while he's away, from what I hear.
Family have owned the stadium since the 1930s. My father bought it and has developed it purely on his own, out of his own efforts, and it's always very much a family hobby, really, not so much a business but a family hobby, for the love of speedway racing. And Martin, my son, will be competing against Gary Havelock, who really is rated the #1 Englishman. Martin feels that he should be, so that will add interest, I think, to today's meeting. I mean, I was always a very middle-of-the-road rider, and Martin has gone on to be far better. He's achieved what I always dreamed of doing.
What have you got there, Martin?
Well, what you find is that you tend to collect a lot of stuff over the sort of couple of years and that you find that you run out of room in the house, so I've just put most of the stuff up in boxes. There's plaques I've got that are quite nice. That's in '88. They're in reasonable condition now, but there's just not space for them on the cabinets. There's so much stuff. I've got some in the shed, and just where do you put them? It's nice to win them, but in the end of the day, like, the metal ones are much better looking than the plastic ones. So we just keep the metal ones up. I don't have to clean them, so I'm not that worried.
Well, I'd say about the match today, got a race against mine, and it's going to be difficult. He's very good round East Point, it's on track, and he's obviously knows every inch of it. But, you know, I'm planning, if I can make the start in front of him, I think that's the main thing around there, and you know, then I can just look, see where he is and try and block him everywhere he goes, but he'll be trying to charge me down, I would think, but
we'll see. He's a pretty fast starter normally, so really going to have to be on top of my game today. Got this van in April last year. It had 9,000 miles on the clock. It's now got 94,000 on. In like not even a year and a half. Last year we drove to Russia. This van, me, Scott, and another one of my mates, Cheesy, and it took us 50 hours continuous driving to get there.
My girlfriend Debbie, she comes to as many meetings as she can. She makes most of them. Some days she can't come and that, but she makes as many as she can. As far as my dad's concerned, he prepares the track for us all. Behind our success, it all depends on what sort of track you're riding on, and he knows that every one of us likes a certain sort of track. For us at Eastbourne, it's nice to be able to go to very smooth but very grippy surface, and it's very hard nowadays to get the tracks to be like that.
Some like the track very deep with shell, some like it very hard, slick. In England we like it very deep, so that you can really race. It gives you a lot more traction.
We've got quite a lot of grip here.
How would you describe the track?
Quite grippy. It's going to be very, very fast racing today for the first couple of heats. It's when it sort of all breaks up like this. After a couple of heats, it all break up into loose stuff, and that's when the racing doesn't get so good. But with the facilities they've got here, they can keep the moisture in the track and that, and hopefully it'll be good right the way through the meet until the 18th heat, hopefully. But like all Speedway, the dirt will move out on the outside, and who dares will win.
I started riding here when I was 15 years old. I unfortunately had an accident while I was riding for the Eagles, 1979. I broke my neck, which left me paralysed, but I've never lost touch with the Speedway. I still come here every week if I can, and you push it to the back of your mind when you're riding, but you wouldn't do it if you thought about it anyway, so it's just one of those things, and if you're unlucky to be that person, well then there's nothing you can do about it. So here I am, and I wish I was still out there, so there we are.
I never once genuinely thought when I was racing, I might get hurt. It's risky, yeah, because things do go hopelessly wrong sometimes, but they're usually freak things, I mean, the riders ride 50, 60 mile an hour, inches apart, literally inches. There's no brakes on these bikes, as you probably know. They go quick, they don't stop so fast, but they just have so much trust in one another. But you get things going wrong, like you do in any sport, The most horrific crashes, usually, are the ones where they all walk away from. The ones that the lad just slides off, probably on his own. He didn't move for 5 minutes, and you think, what the hell's wrong with him? He'd have puffed her, what's wrong with him? Get up. And he's probably snapped his ankle or something like that, broken his scaphoid or shoulder or whatever.
Coming round in white, it's blue, world individual champion, Gary Havelock. On the line at the moment in red, Martin Dugard, the track record holder, and David Ryan.
You go round at the start knowing that you've got to beat these other three guys. A lot of riders spend a lot of time digging around and that, making the others impatient. It's all sort of game to wind each other up, to get the adrenaline pumping. I tend to find the real soft part and roll it down with the front wheel. So I know that I'm going to get maximum grip from that spot. Turn myself off, not worried what anybody else does. And you just got to be ready on 100% concentration. You just got to make sure that you get that first turn first. beat somebody like Gary, who was like last year's world champion, is like a feather in my cap. But when we race together in the England team, we've got to do our best for ourselves and all the members of the team. The thing is, like, at the end of the day, you're all friends and that's what Speedway's all about.
I think all this planning about, you know, taking girlfriends around every meeting and things like that, I mean, a lot to do what I did, you know, now and again. But I think there's more to Speedway than just having a girlfriend sat in the van, you know. At the end of the day, you've got a living to earn. If you don't score, you don't earn. And if you don't earn, I suppose you don't eat. And if you don't eat, you die.
As we look at it, is that we entertain the average people who work, but we entertain them in the evenings. Go on, all the way! So if our girlfriends want to come along, that's just the way it's got to be. Otherwise you'd end up that you wouldn't have no social life at all.
What comes first, the bike or the woman?
I would imagine it'd have to come the bike. Your job always comes first. As time waits for nobody now.
My girlfriend accepts the fact that I have to earn my living out of Speedway, as long as I go in and watch EastEnders and all the soaps first before I come out and do the bikes. That's why I'm in the garage till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. But, you know, they've got to accept that, you know, you're a professional speed rider. As long as you find time for the girls watching the TV and that in the evenings, it's alright, or going out, whatever you want to do.
You working tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. That's why I'm not going to Swindon, because I'll be working the next day. We won't get back till late as usual. So, I mean, tonight we ain't going to get back till what? You can stay at our house. No, we won't get back till after 1 tonight.
We've always done Speedway before we met our girlfriends, so they have to accept that. And it might seem a bit selfish on our behalf, but that's the only way we can earn money at the moment. We haven't really got... none of us have got a job apart from Speedway, and we make good money at Speedway, so that's all we intend doing.
You're all making money out of it then? Sort of.
Well, we're not losing money, so yeah, even if we break even...
The trouble is, you've got to earn a fair living, because like you're not going to be doing it until you're 50. You know, 40 is about top whack, so you've got to earn a bit to, you know, provide yourself with a house and possibly earnings to start your own business or whatever. You know, but at the moment I've just about paid off for a pair of jeans from the catalogue. You know, but I suppose you're living, aren't you? It's better than claiming a dole.
The World Team Cup for Speedway is very similar to the World Cup of football. And obviously when you're there, it is the big hit, you know. And because we're the host nation and because it's at Coventry, I would genuinely love to win the thing. But I mean, don't forget the 3 other teams just feel exactly the same as what I feel and my team feel. They're not going to say, oh, well, it's England. The English team want to win, it's at Coventry. And oh, we'll let them win this. Obviously they're going flat out to be world team champions. We have as good a team as anybody, but it's so fiercely competitive. America won it last year, so they're seeded. Sweden was second, so they're seeded. And Denmark have gone through the preliminaries and now they've qualified. British Speedway obviously is the biggest in the world, and if you want to be the best, you've got to be in England. The American team are virtually based in the Midlands. You know, they live here, they've got their own houses, and some of them have been here years, and like almost everybody in the Danish team, but it's still technically a Coventry rider. And you know, we're like home from home for the Danish boys, you know. Calvin's the oldest of the English team we've picked, but again we've picked him because he's in superb form just now, and to be quite honest, he is the pick of the bunch when it comes to starting. His career has been built on quick starts. Our team can ride the grip better than any other team in the world. They are brought up on grippy tracks, but the track is very short of shell. It's been tyre packed in very hard, and it's like concrete. The track being so slick today, we could expect it a lot grippier on Sundays, because they will re-prepare it now after practice. There'll probably be a lot more shale laid down And hopefully that Havelock can capitalise on that.
Yeah, we could do with just a little bit more dirt on it, so it cooks a bit more.
I'll do it. If, like I said, it's not a worry about the weather, because I said if you make it slick as a board and we get what we're going to get, we'll be off.
Yeah.
If you make it deeper, we'll be off anyway.
That's
so
right.
it's not going to make it. You might as well prepare it. It's a good track.
Well, I think if there's dirt on it, it'll soak the water up anyway.
Yeah,
If it's slick, it's like a skating
Skatering, yeah, that's what I said. And then
once you've been riding for a few years, you become more aware of dangerous tracks, surfaces, whatever. So you become more aware of fear, and but you can't allow that to influence you too much, because if you're not prepared to race hard and close to other guys, then you know your racing days are possibly coming to an end.
Brighton? Yeah. How long did it take you to get here?
Got here at 2.5 hours. Yeah, 2.5 hours. I got here just after 11 and that.
It took us the same time for me. So Gary's been asleep all the way down.
Oh yeah, because you rode last night, didn't you?
I didn't go there.
No.
No, I'd got a wedding.
Oh, did you? Who's got married?
Cousin.
Yeah, today, tomorrow.
Didn't give you any chance, does it?
A meeting like this, you want a couple of days off before, don't you?
Yeah.
It's too important.
The SIN 1993 World Team Championship.
I do feel that when we're at home in test matches or international matches, we certainly haven't got the backing of the majority of the fans in the stadium, because they all follow the favourite rider. And obviously, if America's there, and 300 or 400 people come from Wolverhampton, and there's Sam Ermolenko and Ronnie Corrie, well, they aren't really bothered about England. They're shouting for their own little heroes, you know, Sam and Ronnie.
There's no final adjustments you want made to your bike, is there?
Not really, not really. Head on, maybe.
I like England to win in anything they do, whether it's like football or camel racing or speedway or anything, you know. I'm very patriotic. You know, winning is everything to me. England winning has got to be good for speedway.
Women sort of get in the way, you know, it's like a man's sport, so if you get down there, you're bound to get in somebody's way and get run over by a bike or something like that. I don't really know, but I don't really like it. And it's best to keep out the way anyway. I mean, the lads have got to work and you know you will get in the way and there's nowhere for you to go, so it's better just keep out of the way until the meeting's finished.
Keep on.
Yeah, I'm off it.
The track is not as grippy as we would like, but there's not a lot we can do about it. We've all prepared our bikes and that we can change a few things just hopefully to suit the conditions, but it's not as grippy as we hoped. As soon as you start your bike up knowing that you're out in the first race, you can feel your heart going banging away. If you know that the track looks a bit sticky and you're not sure how to sort of approach it, you just got to hope that your adrenaline will take over.
flat as a part. Absolutely flat as a part.
This is?
Yeah.
Green light go then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, the track's absolutely smooth, a bit slick, but
Yeah, well, like I said.
going in down the bottom, you're right. It's like an ice. Right. If you go off the line, you could almost spin it round.
In those zebra leathers, Gary Havelock. Gary Havelock from England in that order. So the progressive scores now stand at England 8, Sweden 20, America 26, and Denmark 30.
On paper, we looked so strong, didn't we?
Oh, but you couldn't have crossed anybody off on table. The line-ups were that good.
A lot of hard work, nothing at the moment. Can't understand why everybody else is going forward apart from us.
Not going too well, Gary.
Nah, it's going shit, isn't it? It's like when we go abroad to race in these big meetings, the track's always prepared out of home country likes it. So like this year it's in England, we thought great we'd get home track advantage and prepared the track exactly how the Danes like it. And we don't like that. So we're fighting all the time against people who I don't know. We'll have to do it, you know what I mean? But it's not over yet. We're still in there fighting. We've got to get a few heat wins quickly, I think, otherwise it'll slip away. But changing things have happened.
Telling Martin just to follow them round, like taking the mick out of him. So I told him to get out there and try and do a bit better. You get these supporters who stand around and they think it's so easy to get out there and win a few races. I'd love to see them actually get on a bike and do it. I really would. I mean, I've heard a few of them call like Gary a few names, so that really is annoying because they're risking their life out there to give the crowd a bit of entertainment, and all they can do is like, you know, throw names at them, and it's really annoying. I mean, if there's an accident or anything, I think half the time a lot of the fans really like watching a good crash because it gives them something to talk about, and it's annoying for us because they don't know what we have to put up with and the agony that you actually go through. On the track, and like, you don't see them moving, people are crowding them and you can't see what's going on. Your first thoughts are they dead or are they alive? Usually if an ambulance comes on the track and takes them off, you know it's something quite serious, and you just feel sick from the bottom of your stomach because you don't know how bad it is to actually get to the first aid room or get to the hospital. But it's like I say, you learn to get used to it. I mean, I've seen Gary crash quite a few times, and he literally picks himself up, dusts himself off, and he's off again because he knows I'll be sat up in the bar panicking. Or if it's more serious, I think he tries to make some sort of movement, and I sort of get the idea that at least he's alive, he's awake, and he's moving something. But it's quite worrying, it really is.
Who's winning? Who's winning? Dan? Hello. Quite a lot more. I think I'll have pulled it back there. No, mate. They were fairly happy with that, weren't they? We gotta keep this thing going, man. We got a long way to I cannot remember a more embarrassing day.
Within a minute, mate. We don't know yet. We just very hard to know what to do when they're all riding like prats.
Wasn't getting any speed coming off the corner, was I? Going around the corner, he just pulling out. Oh, he didn't get a couple laps before. I don't know. Just no speed. I couldn't do no more. No, I know. He was all over the track. I know. No, we were still quicker.
You can't put it down to anything, that's all I'm saying.
How are you feeling about it?
Crap. Really. You're depressed for all of them. I mean, you know, it's terrible.
It's embarrassing more than anything.
We're on our own soil. Even the team managers can't do it, you know.
Well, we're team zero at the moment. We're like really struggling. Like all the Danes and everybody, they're riding so much better than us. And us on our home track, we should be able to sort of do the same. But we're not even close. We're running 0 after 0 after 0. And there's just no reason for it at all. It's like embarrassing. So.
Me and Scotty are desperately trying to do a lot of alterations to the engine because my bike is just spinning too much. It's too powerful on this slick track. So we're going to try and slow the engine down and slow the back wheel a bit. And hopefully we get some more traction and do a little bit better. Save some pride. See what happens in my last race.
There's burnout down the back. We're holding on for grim death then, going down straight.
We should really give you the pumps in minutes because you've got to save a double. Phil, give me the pumps inside the ship.
Right time, a bit late, but shit happens.
All the way.
You're the main man, get out there.
Not happy, Eric. What can you be happy like? You're looking after a national bloody team and you finish last in your own country. Which, I mean, if you'd finished last by a point, but I mean, the score would just... How many points did we get? 14. Next team got 28. I mean, we only had a bit of credibility in the last, 3 races? Just a bit. No, I'm not happy at all.
Spent lots of time and money trying to get ready, you know, for this meeting. And I've been riding better times on here and a half.
Oh, I got to bed at 3 o'clock this morning, me.
Everybody come here and I haven't performed very well. I rode it for 6 years, 10-point averages.
But it's the same for the teams that's beaten us. So, but you think
they like it.
No, we don't. Yeah. Correct. We like it like it was in Sweden. Because we can ride, but we can't start.
No gold medals this year. Not no more. None.
Well, obviously we don't know what's around the corner, but we've got to bear in mind that Speedway in England has survived since 1928, and I don't really think that just because we've got a few hiccups and a few little blips that we're just going to roll over and watch Speedway go away, you know. I think we've weathered the storm through the recession and hopefully we'll go forward, but I think we need more chances for more Englishmen. You know, we've got to find a way of bringing more English kids into the sport, and we've got to give the Englishmen more chances instead of all the foreigners. You know, there's nothing wrong with the foreign riders at all, just too many of them.
I think that everybody loves a loser too much in England, you know, I don't think that's right. And I think we've got such a bad attitude to sport in England. It's not winning or losing, it's playing the game and all that. You know, it is not good for the youngsters coming up. Because they look up to people who haven't won, who've come second or third. My personal view is that you've got to try and win at all costs. You know, back the winners all the way.
Hi, darling.
Never mind, don't.